the darkness, but the sun's setting, and if I stick my light on, it'll be all shadowy. I'm sitting in my living room and the sun, there's this beautiful sunset outside. It's so gorgeous. Shall I show you guys? If anyone's here, look at this, guys. How pretty. Gorge. Isn't that pretty? I just went for a big walk and was watching the sun go down. So lovely. And there's these big rays of sunshine going shoo. It's gorgeous. Hi guys. Hi everyone. What's happening? It is lovely. It's really lovely going for a walk, except it's so windy out there today. I went along the beach road and I was like, oh no. I have to go the back streets. The dog was like, what's happening? Hi guys, this may sound stupid, but I requested my crush on Insta a few hours ago and she hasn't accepted. And now, how do I go back to school? Oh darling, don't worry about that. Sang, don't you worry, okay? For all you know, she hasn't even looked at her phone. She hasn't got notifications on her Instagram on. You give it good meaning, darling. You give it good meaning that she hasn't got her Instagram notifications on. She hasn't got any, she's not nowhere near her phone. Okay, and don't worry about it. And you walk into school proudly, darling, with your head held high, with the crown on your head, the king that you are, and you don't worry about that. Okay, and you know any moment now she's going to accept you, and maybe she's so nervous because she can't believe you've sent her a request because she really likes you back. Okay, the whole thing with manifesting, darling, is you've got to assume if you want someone that they want you too. I don't want you to have any thoughts that you've done something wrong, that they don't want you, that they don't love you, that they don't have a crush on you too. I want you to imagine she's got a crush on you. She's so thrilled that you've sent her the request. When she sees it, she can't wait to chat to you over Insta, okay? And she likes you too, okay? Have that assumption, please. Loz, I was at a party last night and all the rappers and celebs were interested in me living my dream. Oh! Who was there, Marissa? Tell us. How do you have this luxurious life, darling? It's amazing. The hell are you living? Can I manifest that only my positive dominant thoughts manifest? Yes, say that, Jazz. Look, it's freaked a lot of people out, me putting that video about your negative thoughts manifest, but I just needed to tell people that because there's so much misinformation on here about people saying it's only your positive thoughts manifest. It's like, that's the silliest thing I've ever heard. You create everything. Okay, so just say that, darling. And if something bad has happened, go and revise it, change it in your mind, and have affirmations against what the fuck happened. Good morning from Atlanta. Oh! That was one of my affirmations. Yes, a luxurious life. I know it was, darling. And I just said it. What to do to stop affirming from the state of fear? Look, I don't want you to think you're affirming from a state of fear. Although sometimes we are affirming from a state of fear and there's nothing you can do about it. But when I said that on this morning's live or whatever live it was, what I was saying was have an assessment sometimes about why you formulated the certain affirmation that you're saying. It's like saying no one compares to me. Now that can be a really good affirmation, but sometimes that's coming from a real state of fear because as you're saying it, you actually don't believe it at all. And it's coming from this state of like, I compare myself to all women. And when I say that, I'm thinking of that. So you've got to think, does this affirmation work for me or is it making me feel not good? It's like saying, he's so loyal. If that conjures up an image of him not being loyal and the last time he cheated, I wouldn't use that affirmation. I would use he loves me, he adores me, he dotes on me, he's all about me, might be a bit better than using the word that might trigger you, okay? I'm just saying, don't use words that trigger you in the affirmation because that will make you feel fearful. But if you're in a state of fear and you're anxiety and blah, 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 you can affirm, absolutely. I say get out of a spiral by affirming, but also do things like a guided meditation, breath work, EFT tap, but also, look, sometimes you are affirming from a state of fear. You are affirming because you're feeling fearful. You did just see something on the socials and you are saying, you love me and only me and blah, 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 do that. But I was just saying, sometimes be more selective with your words and assess sometimes why you've chosen the affirmation that you've chosen. Is it coming from a really fearful place? And that's why you've chosen that particular affirmation, you understand? But absolutely use them when you're rampaging, when you're feeling upset, use them, guys. I use them all the time when I'm angry, upset, fearful. I'm probably contradicting myself there, what I said this morning, but I do use them all the time. I was just saying, don't formulate them from a fearful place. Does that make sense? Probably not explaining that very well. Hi, Loz. What do you think about Abraham Hicks? I think she's a fucking fraud. Spend some time with lovely guy tonight. He isn't an SP, but he repeated so many affirmations to me. Oh, wonderful, darling. Look, back to the Abraham Hicks. That's what The Secret's based on, okay? And she's such a fucking nutbag that they couldn't put her in the movie. They filmed her, and people just wouldn't have accepted a person channeling a spirit. They would have been like, the fuck is this shit? And no one would have taken to the law of attraction the way they did. If they'd put Abraham Hicks in the movie, every normal person who wasn't into spirituality or manifesting before would have been like, what is this woo-woo craziness? And The Secret would never have been as popular as it is. And Esther's got a big fucking chip on her shoulder about the fact that she wasn't included in the movie. I think her teachings are extremely confusing. She berates her audience and tells them off for not understanding her, even though the way and you shouldn't be telling off your audience for not explaining things properly. If you don't explain it properly, that's your fault, not your audience's fault for not understanding it. If I had a classroom full of 2-year-olds and I was trying to teach them algebra and they didn't understand it, well, maybe I picked the wrong subject, or maybe I'm not explaining it properly. Time and meet cool people and get free things. What's this, darling? What did you do? I'm lost forever with her. Yeah, she's very confusing. Loz, I manifest a weekend alone in New York City. Any affirmation suggestions to have a magical... Where's the rest of this? What did I... Time and meet cool people and give everything. I have the best time in New York. New York is my town. Everyone loves spending time with me. I met so many cool people. I did so many cool things. I had the best time. That kind of stuff. SP stopped talking to me because they think his friend and I are together. How did my thinking do this? Maybe you think he's paranoid. Maybe you think he's a jealous person. Maybe you think he compares himself to other guys. He's insecure. Any of those thoughts? He's got issues. What thoughts do you have about him? Just forget he said that and just imagine it's because he's jealous because he loves you so much. Okay? And just imagine he knows that you're not with the other person and he accepts that. Name a car for an edit. What's this? Miss Laws, I started to write my affirmations regarding my SP being friends with him. Is that okay? I started to write my affirmations regarding my SP being friends with him. Why would you want to write being friends with him? Is this person you just want to be friends with, or is this person you want a relationship with? I wouldn't go to the end of friendship if what you want is a relationship. I would imagine you're in a relationship with them, you're in a couple. However, if you just want friendship, yeah, then do affirmations for friendship. Is that what you mean? What are your thoughts on how we read good dreams? You can read, about SP. You can read into it any way you want, darling. Give it excellent meaning. How do I come around my crappy 3D? SP has been posting about letting go, moving on his socials. Darling, look, sometimes they write a whole lot of shit or do a whole lot of shit to get your attention, to make you jealous, to get a rise out of you, to hurt you. Okay? If you think they're letting go, if you think they're moving on, they'll write shit like that. You could give it good meaning and think he's writing that because he's fucking hurt. He's trying to hurt my feelings. He's trying to get a reaction out of me because he's so madly, deeply in love with me and fucking heartbroken. You're giving it all bad meaning. Loz, crazy movement. After being in no contact for 6 months. Oh, SP7, what happened? That's number 1 of 3. Where's the rest of it? Where's the rest of it? Amazing. Bumped into SP like a month ago, but things were so shit. Saw him a couple of days ago, and things. Yes, and things. What is Pez? And things what? I'm waiting. We're great. Oh! Congratulations, darling. What did you do? Tell us. That's amazing. SP said he loves me and had feelings. A day later, he's ignoring me. Oh, guys, some of you I can't believe some of you get on here and 1 minute they're saying they love you, or 1 minute they've come back, and the next day or a couple of days later you're saying he's ignoring me. It's the next fucking day. Guys, you've got to understand, some of these people haven't spoken to you for months and you're expecting contact the very next day. Chill your beans a bit. Understand that they're maybe not wanting to look over keen, not wanting to look like they're madly in love with you, and they don't want to ruin it, and they're slowly catching monkey in the way that you should be doing. Chill your beans, stop giving it bad meaning, think that they're trying not to ruin it, okay? Give it all good meaning that you haven't heard from them, okay? Stop reading into it and thinking, oh, it was too good to be true, this has all gone to shit, they're ignoring me, they're ghosting me. Stop giving it bad meaning. So many of you do that and you're fucking it up in the process. Drop the tutorial, Espez. Yes. What did you do, darling? Tell us. Were you affirming for your self-concept? He was so affectionate. It was amazing. Oh, wonderful, darling. So, Espez, were you affirming that he was affectionate? Were you affirming that that last meeting didn't mean anything and he loved you anyway? What were you doing, darling? Tell us. My SP was really obsessed, and then they went flaky out of nowhere, and I didn't change my thinking. Yes, you did. So, darling, what happened to you in childhood? What's happened to you in previous relationships where people have been flaky with you, non-committal with you, not there for you, not giving you affection, not giving you their time, okay, not committed to you? Have you had previous relationships where people haven't committed and you've got this idea that men are flaky? Do you have some abandonment things from childhood where people left you? Okay, like a dad left, or someone in your reality died, or you were constantly left alone because your parents worked a lot and you weren't the priority? What happened there? That's why people turn out flaky, okay? And you've got this holding this belief that they've gone flaky, or you're fearing they're going flaky, or you're fearing he was pulling away. Secretly, in your mind, you don't understand. Sometimes, guys, some of you say, I wasn't thinking that. It's called subconscious thinking. It's in your subconscious. You're not aware you're thinking it. That's why it's called subconscious. In other words, unconscious. So, guys, you don't have to be consciously thinking, he's flaky. He's going to flake on me. He's non-committal. He's pulling away. You're subconsciously thinking it based on your old childhood beliefs, not consciously, guys. So what were you subconsciously thinking, or what happened to you in childhood that you can relate to what you might have been thinking? Figure it out. How do I manifest my SP back? God, how much time have you got, darling? Look, go and watch all my videos in the Facebook group. Go and watch number 25 first, then number 41. 25 is about changing your self-concept to get them back, changing you to change them. Number 41 is getting into your brain the new story of you and them and changing the old story about your SP. Does the 3D reflect current? It's delayed. My SP played Xbox with my brother. What's this? And asked me about me, and I've been affirming he's always thinking about me. Oh, and asked about you. Wonderful, darling. How to manifest a new SP. Well, guys, it's the same thing. So new SP, old SP, it's really pretty much living in the end of being with someone, whether it's someone you've already been with or a new person that you don't even know. You live in the end of being with them, okay? You want to step into the state of this is already done. I'm already in the relationship. They love me. Either they're back because they love me when you split up, or I've got a new person and they love me. You're stepping into the state of I am loved and wanted by them, and I am a lovable, wanted person. I've just recorded. I was just going on my walk then, and I was listening to an affirmation tape I made today, and I love it. I must have listened to it like 20 times as I was walking. And it's all about self-concept for love, it's called. And it's stepping in the state of I am so loved, I am so lovable. Okay, that's the state you want to be in to attract a new person or your old person back. Okay, to understand deep in you that you are a lovable person. Okay, and they love you. Your assumption about them is they love you, and your assumption about you is I am lovable. Okay, and then you want to get rid of any old story about you that believes that you're not lovable, there's something wrong with you, you get rejected, you get abandoned, and any old story, especially if they're an old SP, about them, any breakup story, any old issues you have with them, any breakup arguments, anything, get rid of that story and see the new person only. I'll have 2 courses coming out, guys. I've got the self-concept course and then the Get Your Ex Back course. They'll go hand in hand, and I suggest you do both at the same time and do the self-concept one first, because it's all about your self-concept. If you just did the Get Your Ex Back course, you'll probably have to go back and do the other one first. Okay? They'll be out soon. You're bloody amazing. Oh, thank you, darling. How to change your subconscious of lack. Your subconscious of lack. If you've got lack thoughts, probably you mean abundance-wise, like money-wise. That's in terms of what happened in your childhood. Maybe you're around people who never had any money. They're always broke. They're always scrimping and saving. You mean lack like as in money, darling? Can I manifest wedding with SP right after working on SP? Yes, darling. Look, imagine you're married to them already if that's what you want. Okay? See yourself on the wedding day. See yourself on the honeymoon. See your 50th year wedding anniversary with them. Why does the 3D reflect thoughts? How is it possible? Look, go and read the CIA document, guys. If a lot of you are lost, because I know I just posted a video and there were a whole lot of very triggered LOA people on there saying, you need to listen to Joe Dispenza. I fucking no interest in listening to fucking Joe Dispenza and his confusing gobbledygook woo-woo speak from the chiropractor's mouth. Guys, thought reflection is simply how your subconscious works. It's oneness, okay? We are all one consciousness, okay? If you can understand that really hugely fundamental, huge thing that's in all religions, oneness, we are all one, then you'll understand that I have my consciousness, but it's also linked to yours, which is your subconscious mind. So as I'm thinking thoughts that are dominant, I think them a lot. They go into your consciousness, which is your subconscious mind, and it's all linked. I know that sounds woo-woo and weird, but it's just how it works, okay? Which is why ESP happens, which is why coincidences happen, which is why you can think of someone and they'll call you and you'll say, oh my God, I just thought of you and you called me. That's because of oneness, okay? It's thought reflection. It's simply how your subconscious mind works. It's your unconscious mind linking to everyone else's mind. And the more you think your thoughts dominantly, the more they go out into the world and the more they get reflected to everyone else. It goes into like the receiving set of their mind. Like you're a radio station, you're sending out the songs and it goes into the receiving set of the radio in their mind. And when they turn it on, they can hear the song and it becomes the song in their brain and it becomes their own thought. Does that make sense? Isn't it kind of related to law of assumption? Yes, that's what I talk about. It's all I talk about on here, darling. What you dominantly habitually think is true. All right? So what you dominantly assume in your reality to be true will become true. So I'm just going to turn this light on, guys, because it's too dark in here now. Started practicing what you taught in August, stuck with it, and so many things coming true now. Oh, the Josh journey, really, darling, hooray. Like what? Tell us. Thank you. Honestly, I was negative before. Lol, so cool. Oh, wonderful, Tanya. Wonderful. So how do I change a subconscious lack in love and money consistently? Well, that's coming from you feeling not good enough about yourself, darling, or something in you that you feel lacking in you, okay? So it's all about us, guys. So either you have some very strong beliefs about things don't work out for me, relationships don't work out for me, I never have enough money, whatever those strong beliefs that come from childhood are, okay? But they all are connected to your self-concept, which is one of four things. I get left. I'm not loved. You get neglected in some way. Your needs aren't met. Okay. I'm not good enough, or there's something wrong with me and I'm not chosen. Or I get abused. I can't trust people. I get hurt. You're going to hurt me. Okay. That's where it all comes from. So if you feel this lack mentality, like nothing ever works for you, you've got to think, well, what are those four things I'm fearing? It's coming from that. Frequency tuning into a radio. Yeah, guys, you can talk about it like frequency. So go and read the CIA document called The Gateway Process. It talks about that. But the reason I don't use the word frequency, okay, or vibration about this stuff is because it really confuses people. If you just think of it in terms of thought reflection, it's a mirror. You've got a mirror in your mind. Everyone's got a mirror in their mind and they mirror your thoughts back to you. It's much more palatable to understand. I also don't use the word feelings when I teach and say feel the feelings as if it were true, because so many LOA people teach feelings and it's very hard to conjure a feeling. It's much easier to think the thought first. You don't have control over the feelings. So I talk about it in terms of the basics. Whatever happens after you send the thought out, whether a frequency is going through the air, it's vibrating, whatever the fuck, is kind of irrelevant. You just need to accept the reality that it goes into someone else's mind. You don't need to know. I use electricity, but I don't need to know how the electricity works. I don't need to know how my light works to turn it on and use it. Okay? Because so much woo-woo speak is confusing people. And when they say frequency and vibration, they're thinking, well, what do you mean I have to be at a frequency? What do you mean I have to vibrate, or I have to be at a vibration? I have to be positive all the time. I have to be happy. I have to... Joy is the key, or whatever the fuck Abraham Hicks says. It's fucking confusing speak. If you just get down to the basics of everything starts with a thought. A feeling can't be generated with first having a thought. If you want to be sad, you have to think a sad thought. If you want to feel happy, you have to have a happy thought first. It's simply how your mind works. If you want to reflect a thought out, whether there's vibration or frequency occurring in the air to the other person's mind, is irrelevant to the teaching. All you need to understand is it's thought reflection. Got it? If you're really confused, go and read this chapter in the Law of Assumption. No, in Feeling is the Secret by Neville Goddard, called Thought Transmission. I think it's the second chapter. How do you change the constant thought once you know which of the four you are? Okay, so that's what my self-concept course is about, guys. So once you know what your core self-concept issue is, so if your core self-concept issue is, I am not good enough, I am not chosen, there's something wrong with me, then you need to affirm against that thought, that dominant thought that you've had since childhood that something's wrong with you. So you would say things that would suit you, like, I'm perfect just the way I am. Now, if it was a body issue, like what I've got, body dysmorphia, I would have very specific affirmations for that, like, my body is perfect just the way it is. I was wonderfully made. I am beautiful inside and out. But that may not work for you, because your thing might be you were criticized a lot as a child and told you were wrong. So you would say things like, everything I do and say is perfect. I can't do this. I can't do this wrong. I never hear criticism. If I hear criticism, I never believe it. I never put myself down. I never let anybody else put me down. That would be your version of I'm not good enough. Everyone's got their own guides, and you have to kind of make your affirmations malleable to really suit what is my deep, dark issue here. Is it that I was criticized as a child? Is it that I've got body dysmorphia from something that happened to me and my body? Is it that I was abandoned? Is it that someone died in my reality and I assume everyone else is going to leave me? Is it that I was abused, or that I just literally couldn't trust anyone in my household because my household was so chaotic? Okay, you've got to really get to the key of it and then think, well, what thought would be the opposite of what I already think? Sit for 20 minutes and write down all your negative thoughts, and then you'll see what the theme is. You'll see what the dominant fear is. It'll be really obvious. Just write down all your thoughts for 20 minutes with no sound, no TV on, no TikTok in your hand, nothing, and just write down everything. What if it's all of the above? It's rarely all of the above. Rarely. There'll be one or two dominant things, okay? But it can be all of the above. You could have been abandoned as a child. Someone died. You also then feel not good enough because, okay, so say this would be a scenario where it's all four. Your parents gave you up for adoption, so you were abandoned. That made you feel not good enough. So you have that fear, I'm not good enough. Then when you went into foster care, you were abused. Then you got the abuse fear, I get hurt. And then throughout your life, you're emotionally neglected by everyone, and so you feel you won't be loved. There's all four, right? Thus, how does thought transmission also consist with dominant thought? So whatever you dominantly think will be sent out. You're not going to just send out the thought you think once. It's what you dominantly think forms a belief in your mind. If you go and listen to Dr. Bruce Lipton, he's got a wonderful book called Beyond Belief. No. The something of belief. The biology of belief. The biology of belief. Okay, and he talks about biologically what happens in your mind after you've had a repetitive thought for a long time and how it forms a neural pathway in your brain. It actually physiologically forms a new pathway in your brain that causes it then to turn into a belief. And then it's instilled in there and it's fucking stuck in there until you change it, right? So we are constantly coming from a state of whatever our beliefs dominantly are. So if you believe people will hurt you, then you're going to assess a situation whenever you get in a relationship. What is this person doing right now? Does this mean they're going to hurt me? Okay? Or I feel unsafe. Or you're going to cheat, because your dominant belief is I get hurt, people hurt me. So you'll have a rose-tinted glasses, but they're fucking filthy, awful, dark glasses, seeing the world through I'm going to get hurt by you, because that's your dominant belief. And that's what repetitive thought is. It turns into a belief. So to change your pre-existing beliefs, you have to dominantly think something new, which is why you affirm and affirm and affirm and visualize and step into the state and think only the new thoughts over and over and over again, because you have to think them enough to kill the old ones. Got it? You need to pin this live, Loz. A lot of the teachings in this one. Yes, I know. Hope this saves. This live saves. Loz, I'm finally with my SP. I never had any doubt that we would end up together. Kerry! There you go, darling. That's how this works. What do I think of Mike Dooley's techniques? I do not know who this person is, darling. Who is that? Look, I'll be honest with you. The reason why I'm not familiar that much with Joe Dispenza and people like that is literally because they vomit out other people's teachings and then claim them as their own, right? However, Joe Dispenza just speaks in confusing speak. But a lot of new people I've never heard of. I've never heard of these people because I've learned from Maxwell Maltz and Napoleon Hill and Neville and Florence Scovel Shinn and Joseph Murphy and Earl Nightingale, who are all long dead. I read the old stuff and the Bible. Do you know if there's any content of Abdullah and where to find it? Apparently there are 2 books about him. One is, I must go find this, but it's called something else. Apparently he went by I want to say Abraham. What's the word? Arab name. He went by an Arab name, which is something like Abal or something, some other name, right? So there's a book with him in that name about him, but he was a very quiet, secretive, private person, and he was so long before Neville that there's not a lot of information on him. There is a guy on YouTube who talks about Abdullah and Neville at the same time. I can't remember the name of the account. It's something like Abdullah and Neville. He might be interesting to watch. I came across him once, but I must find this book. It's called Allah. Oh, I can't think of the name of it. Who is Maxwell Laws? Dr. Maxwell Maltz was a plastic surgeon in the 1950s. And you've got to think what kind of operations doing in the 1950s, you know, back in the day when Marilyn Monroe was having a chin implant, right? Like pretty primitive stuff, right? But he was a very famous American plastic surgeon. And he discovered over many, many years of doing surgeries on people that the people with congenital disorders, the ones who were born with them, or the ones who had, misformed bodies from accidents and they were long held, had very long held beliefs about their bodies in their mind, and their body deformity or their disability or the scars on their body made them feel a certain way about themselves, which was not good enough, defective, right? Then it didn't matter what he did with the operation, they wouldn't see the new them, right? They would see themselves in the mirror as the old them, and they couldn't really see themselves as improved. So he wrote a book called Psycho-Cybernetics, which was about changing your self-image, not just your body, which I found very moving because I have body dysmorphia. It's a brilliant book. What's this? Loz, do you pray to God? No, darling, I am God. Oh, sorry. My neighbours are here and my dog is barking her head off. Molly, shush. Sorry, guys. We are all gods, guys. Read the Bible again. Loz, are you going to make a knee challenge? Oh, a new challenge. Yes, I'm doing it today. I'm doing it tonight. I'm doing a new challenge. Get out of the way, dog. Sorry, guys, we're in the dark. What are your thoughts on manifesting with Brit? She confused me with Law of Assumption. She's a fucking nutcase. I would not watch her. She's triggered as fuck. She argued with me in one of her videos. She calls me toxic. She is a triggered, unself-aware, very confusing, provocative. She does provocative videos to get attention. She has absolutely no idea what she's talking about. Of all the videos, the accounts on here, I think that's a very dangerous account to watch. I use the word dangerous I shouldn't use that word, but I think she is actually very triggered and has got zero self-awareness and writes really nasty comments on whenever people question her. And she's nasty and triggered, and I wouldn't watch her. Like, there are some people on here, I don't really like their accounts, but I wouldn't say that it's a dangerous account to watch. I think she's dangerous. I think she's actually a bit narcissistic and has like zero self-awareness and is problematic, and I would not watch her. She's argued with me and Sasha. And I said to Sasha the other day on a video, so people were constantly tagging me in her shit. And the other day, Sasha asked me a question, and I said, Sasha, there's some accounts not to comment on. And I didn't even say this is one of them. I said, and she, I wasn't even talking to her. And Britt just gave me this whole diatribe. Your account is toxic. You do toxic videos. And I felt like saying, fuck, bitch, you're teaching people psychological stuff, manifesting. And you have fucking zero self-awareness, A, of your shit, or B, why your boyfriend cheated on you. I can tell you exactly why, because I can read you like a fucking book. I did a whole analysis of her on a live once because she triggered me so much because I was so angry that she was so psycho that I thought, fuck you, bitch, I'll psychoanalyze you, and everything I said about her, I bet you it's right. She's very dangerous. I wouldn't watch that girl. She's actually a bit nuts. Okay? Yes, she tags Neville in Law of Assumption, then teaches the opposite. She's clueless as fuck about it. It's like attention seeking. I would call her a narcissistic self-aggrandizer, right? So self-aggrandizing people are people who have no self-awareness and constantly big themselves up, want to make themselves bigger than they are, and have absolutely no awareness of their own issues. That's her. Well, that's what I read into with her anyway. Lois, how many days to create a new belief in the subconscious mind? Look, some people have that saying about the 21 days to form a habit. Perhaps that's true. I haven't done enough research into the actual timing of that. I don't know. I'd be talking out of my ass if I said I know that's true, because I don't know if that's true. But a lot of scientific experiments, I guess, have been done into that. Otherwise, why would people be saying that? I don't want to be listening to her. Who is it, please? Manifesting with Brit, her name is. She's confusing as hell. No, not the redhead. That's Sasha. She's wonderful. I am Sasha Official. Look, guys, these are the accounts I'd watch on here. If you want to learn manifesting properly, these are the only people, and I mean the only people I would watch. I am Sasha Official. who started her account recently and is wonderful. And she was on a live with me the other day, and I've jumped on her live, and she was saying that I inspired her to start her account because she knows what she's talking about, and I was so pleased. And as soon as I saw her, I thought, she knows what she's fucking talking about. Everyone go watch her, right? I am Sasha Official. Kim Velez, Manifest Fast with Kim Velez, who also has a YouTube, who's also been on my lives, okay? Manifesting with Kimberly, who also has a YouTube. She's wonderful and hilarious. And another girl called Shannon, and her account is called Lifestyle Manifesting. I've never had any interaction with Shannon, but I've had lots of interactions with the other ladies, and they're wonderful, okay? They're the only accounts I watch, seriously, on TikTok. I love Sasha. Yeah, she's great. If I have a strong feeling, an intuition that something, I'm talking about TikTokers, guys, but yes, create your future on YouTube. I have a strong feeling and intuition that something will be in some way with my SP is manifesting. Well, darling, if you believe that, then good. I only watch Loz, Kimberly's and Create Your Future on YouTube, yeah. And watch Sammy as well, although Sammy maybe got a bit confused recently. I don't know. People ask me about her videos. I haven't gone and watched it. To manifest my SP as I desire, as the best version of him. Yes, Laura Lou, where's the rest of that question? If we create our own rules, shouldn't we say it takes less than 21 days? Yeah, do that. Do it. Say that. What are your thoughts on manifesting alchemy with the black pop? Guys, I only recommend those accounts that I said. That's all I'm saying. Is Sasha on YouTube? No, she's not, darling. She's only very new on TikTok. If I'm feeling anxious about something, that can happen. Do I keep going and push through the doubts? Yes, please. Guys, I do have an anti-anxiety meditation that I think is very soothing and lovely that I'm going to put on YouTube that will help everybody, okay? It'll help you get into a nice state, and it has some lovely affirmations at the end to get into your power, to stop your mind running you, okay? But say things like, what's the question? Do I keep going and push through the doubts? So you could say things like this, darling. I am in full control of my mind now. I do not let my fears overwhelm me. I am in full control of the feelings I feel. They do not overtake me. Okay, you can start saying things like that, affirmations like that to help yourself. No contact for 3 months and persisting. Yesterday, a mutual friend put pick up of SPs. This movement? Yes, darling. Take it as movement. Wonderful. Love Sammy. Yes, Sammy's great. Oh, Sasha said, what's this? Could manifest my SP as the best version of him, even if he's toxic now. Absolutely, guys. My ex-boyfriend was so fucking toxic, and he's turned into the sweetest, loveliest guy who dotes on me, and I just don't want him. But they change. If you see them differently, they'll change, even if they're toxic now. SP's coming over tomorrow. He will realise he loves me and only me, and it's all going to be okay. Well, what do you mean? Is he coming over tomorrow? Ah! I can't scream because my neighbour's downstairs, so just go back. So that's what I'm doing. Good, darling. Do that, Laura. Great. Positive movements with X yesterday and today been affirming a lot. Oh, good, Nat. Great. I'm really glad to hear that. You just get out of it what you want, Nat. Hang on. Scrolling up. Affirmations for my business. My business is booming. I have the best such and such business in such and such. Manifesting. Sound interesting. Is there a book you recommend? I'm not familiar with all this. Darling, anything by Neville Goddard. Or you can go listen to his lectures for free on YouTube. He does wonderful lectures. He's long dead. But you can look up a channel called Nevolution, where a girl does his lectures in her own voice. But you can also listen to Neville himself. There's a channel called... What's my dog doing under the couch? It's scratching away. There's a channel called Neville and the Law. You can go listen to him. But I would read anything by Neville. Feeling is the Secret is probably the easiest book to read first. Your lives are my daily dose of happiness and what? Motivation. Yay, darling, yay. What are your thoughts? I already answered that. No, what are your thoughts on manifesting alchemy? Darling, I only recommend those 5 accounts that I said. That's it. If I didn't mention that account, that should tell you something. Any tips on scripting is one technique I struggle. Well, guys, you don't have to use it. If you struggle with it, don't use it. Some people don't like scripting. Manifesting with Kimberly loves scripting. She scripts every day. I don't think I'm a scripter, yet I have scripted things that manifested, like my car. I've got a scripting bit in my journal that exactly describes my car and exactly how I got it. And I found it after I got the car and I read it to my dad. My dad was like, that's exactly what happened and that's exactly your car. And I was like, oh yeah, right? So if scripting doesn't work for you, don't use it. Just visualize and affirm. or just visualize, or just affirm. Whatever suits you guys. My ex once said he didn't love me. Now he can't stop. And why wouldn't he? Oh! Whatever, guys. Sorry, my Wi-Fi crashed and didn't hear your answer to that. I just said, I only recommend those other accounts, darling, that I said. Okay? I don't want to shit on anyone's account. So I'm leaving the country soon. I want to see my SP, want him to initiate any affirmations. Just say, he's dying to see me before I go. He makes sure he makes the effort. I love scripting, yes. Scripting is just writing down what you want as if it's already happened. Okay? Writing it like a dear diary entry, your wedding vows, new story, getting rid of the old story. All right, guys, I've got to go because my neighbours are already back and I love how excited you are with everyone's good vibes. Oh, thank you, darling. It's contagious. Oh, thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to go. So please do follow me if you don't follow me already. I go live twice a day, normally a bit earlier than this at this time. And I also go live US time, night time, okay? So which is morning time Australia. So do press the notification bell on Subconscious Laws. Get all notifications, but also if you join the Facebook group where I save all these lives, I give you warning that I'm going live just before. So if you pin the group, you get a warning. And you can also ask your questions in there in the Q&A forum. I'm about to post a Q&A forum now, and I'm about to post a money and success challenge that's going to go for the next week. Come and join our challenge and come and affirm with us and visualize with us to get your money and success going. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you soon. Bye.